For this exercise session, equipment, it will be a exercise ball. It doesn't require any specific weight, although I would pick one that's light. Some sort of platform, I like these type platforms, but a bench would work, and a mat for the floor. We'll start with some dynamic warm-up. Just some trunk twists, also called kidney slaps. If you let your hands slap over your kidneys, it's theorized that this helps circulation and energy to the kidneys. You can move your head side to side. If that makes you dizzy, you can just keep your gaze forward. And some shoulder rolls. And just some knee lifts. This is a lower intensity session. But again, you can take it at your own pace. Rest when you need to. Make sure you have sorts of water, towel. And let's put our knees out to the side. And just hold a knee up for some balance work. Out to the side, front and down. Knee up, out to the side, front and down. Balance is very important, particularly as we age. To make it more challenging, close your eyes. You can also increase the challenge by bringing your arms up. So we'll now start our exercises on improving the fascial function. First elongating and holding it under a little bit of tension. Grab your ball. Remember, we've got our 4 slings we're working on. And we'll take these in just random order, different exercises for each one. So first with the anterior oblique, take your weight, press up, back a bit, and lift your leg on the same side. Hold your balance. So you see we're exercising this side and maintaining tension on the opposite side. This is for our anterior oblique. Switch sides. If you need to, you can touch your toe down, but try and get it up for part of the exercise. Again, you can just hold the ball up. Feel the tension crossing around the anterior part. Another anterior exercise is to do a front lunge. And with the ball overhead and back. Switch sides. You don't need to do a lot of repetitions of these, usually 3 to 5, and done at a slow pace. And one more. For our posterior oblique, let's do a single leg deadlift. So putting the ball in my left hand, lifting my right leg up, and reaching down. And I'll do the opposite side. This works both your balance and that posterior oblique sling. For a lateral sling, we'll do a side lunge. And you can lift the ball up. Going back to our anterior oblique, you can do a high, low chop. Give it a twist in the pelvis. And other side. To do our posterior oblique and deep longitudinal, you can do essentially a one-arm kettlebell swing. And while not using the kettlebell, again, it's working on those two fascial planes. Another one that involves several of the slings is put your feet offset, push the ball towards the corner of the room, and you twist to the back of it. And opposite direction, front. Make sure you let your feet pivot to avoid hurting your knee. Another one we call drawing the sword. Kind of like the high-low, just the one side on this one. Difficult one, also working on balance, is you take your ball to the side, you bring it up and lift the knee. Lunge to the side, knee up. You can go higher. Lunge to the side, knee up. Opposite direction. Lunge to the side, knee up. For the to focus on the deep longitudinal sling, you can do a bridge, a one-legged bridge, and then variations of getting up off the floor. To demonstrate those, I'm going to use my platform. In silver sneakers, we don't like to have our heart lower than our legs.
forward fold, other things like that. You want to go no farther than horizontal, and same with a glute bridge. I would do this on a platform as opposed to on the mat where your pelvis is going up higher than your heart. So you get on your platform, slide to where your shoulders are being supported, and lift your pelvis. That's your bridge. And you can lift one leg and hold a single glute bridge. Other leg. I find these quite challenging. That is essentially it's like a plank. A similar exercise is a wall squat where you lift one leg. Push yourself against the wall and try and lift one leg. All you can do is try and unweight one side. That's good too. So those are some examples of exercises to stretch and strengthen the fascial slings, low intensity, without requiring a lot of weights.
Final exercise is called a Turkish get-up. This is an advanced exercise that I actually think works on all these slings. It's a whole body activity. It's an advanced move, so a modification I call a get up any way you can. So starting on our mat, you lie down. You know how the ad goes is I've fallen and I can't get up. Well, I think if we work ahead of time, figure out some way to get up. So generally, roll to the side, elevate your upper body, pushing against here, get to your knees, bring your upper body up, lift one knee, you can use both hands, push, or we'll push off the floor, and get up. And you get back down. Let's roll to the opposite side. Get up any way you can. Modification of a Turkish get-up. Back down on the floor, on the back. One leg straight. Bring the knee up. Your weight is up above on the same side as the knee. And you try and sit up. This is where we stop. And we switch to the other side. Knee bent, weight above, and sit up. Now to progress from here, take your opposite hand behind you, trying to keep that weight overhead. Bring that leg behind. From here, adjust your knee, and so as you progress in that exercise, flexibility in that, you increase the weight that you're holding overhead. I find a very lightweight hold overhead is adequate and safer. If you get a heavy weight, there's always a risk of injury. So make sure that you've mastered the get up with a very light weight. That's soft. If it falls, it's not going to hurt anything. Hope you have a great rest of your week, and I'll post again in the future. Hello, and welcome to this edition of Silver Sneakers Boom Muscle. I'm scheduled to have surgery on my prostate in a couple weeks, and during recovery I won't be permitted to do any significant lifting, so I have to think of an alternative form of exercise during this time. In the next couple videos I'll go over some of these. Today I was going to demonstrate some exercises for managing the fascial slings. The fascia are connective tissue, and here is the 4 primary fascia, which some systems have more than 4. For our purposes, this will work fine. We have an anterior sling, posterior sling, deep longitudinal sling, and a lateral sling. The connective tissue has some contractile properties, like muscles, so when we're training them, instead of contracting them so much, we want to try and lengthen them, which will increase flexibility and functionality.